Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report. We just finished a very long DPA open mic session. Do check it out. Search on YouTube DPA open mic and you'll be able to see fellow DPA community discussing about politics and geopolitics and war. And there's some frontline changes over at Taike, Makievka, Zalizny, Progress, Yekhanivka, Novoselivka, Persha, Yasnobrodivka, Krasnohorivka, and Uruzhaine. So across all the different front lines. First off, we go to Taike. Over at Taike, there is a geolocation of Russian forces over in the north of Taike, invalidating Ukrainian claims because the Ukrainian claims all the way until here. So the Russian forces clearly is in this region here. Because the Russians have already previously claimed around here, so it doesn't change the Russian front line, only change the Ukrainian front line. So in case you do not know, there's actually two maps. This what you're looking at now is not one map, it's actually two different maps. Blue is the Ukrainian mapping, the pink one is the Russian mapping. So there's actually two different maps. So you can see that the overlapping is the difference between the two mappings from the Russian and the Ukrainian side. So there is, of course, discrepancy. No information from both sides are a bit different. We go into Makievka. Over at the Makievka, at the Crimea front, Russian forces have been geolocated along this Gali region, and this caused the frontline change in this area here, which invalidates Ukrainian claims. So this is the same situation as the one at Taike. So this Nevsky, Makievka. So and Crimea is over here. So and Liman city is over here. Then the next frontline change is over at Zalizny. So this is over at the New York front. The Russian forces at the Zalizny region have expanded their control southward, taking more grounds and probably some of these heavy trenches that the Ukrainians have defending the front line. So the Russian forces have an expanded front line around Zalizny. And this would definitely threaten our Ukrainian forces over at the Pivdeni region, as they are currently in a potential salient, and the Russians are pushing in this direction. So maybe. So after Zalizny, we have frontline change over progress over at the Avdiivka front. So New York front is here. This New York front, and then this is Avdiivka front. This is the Avdiivka front. So over at Progress, Russian forces have made Progress, very apt name. Over in the eastern part of Progress, Russian forces have expanded their control pretty significantly, and also have Russians also claim more control over in the Yekhanivka region, claiming to have taken most of this heavy fortification west of Yekhanivka. So this is a Russian claim. Above is a confirmed capture, and the distance of Progress is around 1 kilometers for the Russians towards Progress. And this is a Russian claim, so just take it with a pinch of salt and see how this progress. But it seems to line up the progress at both sides together. So after Yekhanivka, we have frontline change south of this location over at Novoselivka, Persha. And this, of course, came as per what we have predicted. Russian forces attack east, then attack northeast, and then they are now attacking east again. So Russian forces make progress, confirmed by geolocation, on the entire front on the eastern part of Novoselivka, Persha, as the Russian push westward to sweep the Ukrainians off this entire area towards the Voschar River. So there's a major frontline change around here. The entire stretch of the front line, we are talking about around 2 kilometers, 2.2 kilometers in terms of the entire front line, and also in terms of depth is around a 1 kilometer progress. So the next frontline change is over south of this location at Yasnobrodivka. And as you can see, a lot of these frontline changes are concentrated at the Avdiivka front, because this is where the Russian main offensive is actually ongoing. It's not at the New York front. New York front is just a diversion. This is the main push. Kharkiv front is also a diversion. So over at Yasnobrodivka, Russian forces have claimed to have taken more of Yasnobrodivka. The entire eastern part of Yasnobrodivka has fallen between Umansky and the settlement, and the Russians are making continued progress on both sides of the bank of this river. The next frontline change is over at Krasnohorivka. So at Krasnohorivka, there is geolocation of Russian forces in this northwestern part of Krasnohorivka. This is a continuation of the Russian push on the northwestern neighborhoods, as the Russians continue to make progress around this area, and they continue to push, and they are making good progress, and they are pretty. They have moved perhaps around 200 to 250 meters, and from the very end of the from the end of the this main road at the Sevdova road is around half a kilometers plus, around 600 meters. So the Russians are getting very close in this area here as they continue to make this push to cut off the road of retreat at Krasnohorivka. But at Krasnohorivka, there is also some good news for the Ukrainians. Ukrainian forces have been geolocated in this southwestern outskirt or southwestern neighborhood of Krasnohorivka, confirming Ukrainians have taken some control back around this area here near the railway line. And otherwise, there's one last frontline change, and this last frontline change is over at Uruzhaine. So at the Velika Novosilka sector of the Donetsk front, Russian forces have confirmed to have captured Uruzhaine. Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source and mapping, has confirmed that Uruzhaine has been captured by the Russian forces after a massive assault in the northern part of the village. And the Russian Defense Ministry has also announced that they have captured the Vostok group of forces have taken Uruzhaine, and they are currently cleaning and demining the settlement. So based on this latest frontline change, the Russian forces have indeed taken the rest of the settlement, and this marks the fall of Uruzhaine and completed the conquest of the twin towns of Staromayoski and Uruzhaine, marking the loss of one of these major frontline settlements that the Ukrainians have captured during the 2023 counter-offensive. The other ones being Robotine. So the loss of Robotine was major because that was taken at huge cost, and now Staromayoski and Uruzhaine, the furthest point at the Velika Novosilka sector of the Ukrainian counter-offensive, is now lost to the Russians. So the Russians are clawing back the Ukrainian success of the counter-offensive, and what's going to come next is going to be horrible, as the fighting has already arrived at Blahodatne and Starozeve, and so Russian forces are already moving to attack Ukrainian forces north of Uruzhaine and Staromayoski. So anyway, that's all for the frontline changes report. The sitrep will be later, probably in Singapore's evening time, another 10, 12 hours perhaps. So thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and check out the DPA Open Mic. The link is here. And I'll see you guys in the next update.